Okay, special request for this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Yanagisawa 901, A901S if you want to be particular. But this came to me and I took it out of the box and the case looks like it had never been opened, and it was just the case was in perfect condition, so I was just hoping that the horn would be in the same condition, and it is. I mean, it is in virtually brand new condition. So this horn was made in the early 80s, so it's almost 20 years old, but it looks, feels just like a brand new instrument. There's not even a scratch. The silver holds up really well, much better than the lacquer. But and I don't know if you can see down the bell, but it's just absolutely clean inside. And if you look at the pads look like they've never had water on them. And again, that's all the way up and down. You can see the nice brown color on them. And it feels, the spring tension is much stiffer than most of the Yanagisawas I've played. And it's not even broken in. It basically still has, the factory tension on it. And as you play it, it'll kind of work in it a little bit, and it'll soften up. But it's got a very, very firm feel on the springs. So it's very responsive. And you can hear a nice scale right down the horn. So I'm just a huge fan of the Yanagisawa's. Very low production horn compared to everybody else. Very small factory. And there's some wonderful reviews of the factory and video tours of the factory and such on the internet. You can check out on YouTube and such. So one of the cool features I really love on these, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's an extra arm right here. And what happens when you have the spring tension, you've got all your keys down, you hit your bell keys or your G sharp key, any of these keys, and it lifts this F sharp key up. And I have to over adjust a lot of horns with the F to keep that down because of the G sharp pulling it up. So what they actually did is added a secondary, we call it second parachute adjustment, where there's one on the back and another one in the front just to slam down that key and keep it nice and firm. So when you play any of the bell keys or the G sharp or whatever, that key is going to stay nice and solid. I've actually done a retrofit on quite a few horns. Especially if I'm having a terrible time with the Yamaha student models. I get it adjusted perfectly. I'll hit the G sharp and you'll hear it warble, warble, warble from the low C. So of course high F sharp, again in just out of the box condition, all the way around, upside down, and got the nice oversized thumb rest like they have in the newer models. So again, this is one model back from this new, they changed all their numbers. Now they're AW this 01 and all this. So this is basically what's now the AW 901 or 01 or whatever they call it. So the only difference between this and the 991, which was the model, basically I consider all these pro models. I mean, there's nothing that beats this thing. So the 991, the only difference is it has a rib construction where there's a big half-inch rib running down the tube, and then the keys are attached to that. This has what's called a post construction, where you have a post, 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 post. The advantage of the rib, you can take a little bit of bigger of a whack. The advantage of the post construction, it doesn't have that big dampening factor on the body of it. So I think it sounds better. And I think it's a little bigger sound than actually the 991. So anyhow, just in absolutely spectacular condition. So, and it just whispers, or loud. My reed just cracked on this, on my mouthpiece, and this one's a little bit stiff. And beautiful warm sound. I really love the Yamahas too. I feel the Yanagisawas have a little warmer sound, a little nicer metal than on the Yamahas, but comparable mechanics, comparable quality control, a much smaller production. So I think they get a little more hand build than the Yamahas do. You get a metal thumb rest instead of the plastic. Plastic ones tend to break right at the screw because it's a very weak spot right there. So anyhow, and they give you a nice guard for your side keys. So they tend to get waxed, so you get a nice guard here. So again, in just an astonishing condition. And you can see the case, again, is in just pristine condition, inside and out. All the handles. Most of the time, I've got an older one where the corners are all ragged and been beat. So again, the case is even. And I think I mentioned the serial number is 270 and some change. So again, in the chart only goes up to 80, so this is in the early 80s. I think it's, anyhow. So, that low B flat it's just got this monstrous low B flat, better than most altos I've ever played. So we're going to do a quick little tune, trying to keep them short. I mean, I get carried away. So we're going to play this little thing and see how it comes out. with this reed, I'm just shot. Anyhow, you kind of get out the idea. Man, I mean, it's getting to time where I got to get some chops back together for this. Everything's starting to open up again. So anyhow. Oh man, I have to go down on reed size. But anyhow, just a gorgeous, gorgeous saxophone. It just plays like a dream. A little stiffer action than I'm used to, but man, it just needs to be broken in. This thing needs to be played. It looks like it's just been sitting. Again, there's not even a water spot on the pads or top to bottom. Even the low E flat that gets all the crap down it, it's just in perfect condition. So any more questions, give me a call, or not a call, but send me an email. Nobody calls anymore. www.stevgraysaxes.com. That's www.stevegray saxes.com. And you can see if it's still available, but I think it may be going out the door. So a lot of other good things there too, so check everything out. All right, bye now. Sorry now.